The doctor is in. So as you can see, this is the Novell branded version, although the packaging is pretty much the same as I remember it when it was still digital research. Come in with a full 60-day money-back guarantee. This is the retail 3.5 version. And this copy came from Computer Reset. We have the package with the discs. A set of 3 discs, or 4 actually. Startup disc, utilities, and ViewMax, including the NetWare workstation shell, which makes sense since this is Novell rebranded. We have a late-breaking note detailing some of the features of this operating system. We have the quick reference card, nice glossy substantial card with a lot of commands on it. Interestingly, this has the original digital research branding. A guide for ViewMax, which is the included shell, which integrates with the task switching environment. Optimization and configuration tips. A lot on the memory management, which was a complicated subject in that time. This cache, task max, a lot to detail here because all these utilities that are part of the operating system were really licensed third-party products that were rebranded and included with DR-DOS. Have a performance report where you can give them feedback. Technical services guide. So it looks like how you can get in touch with them for tech support. You can call them for $20 an incident. You can fax them. You can reach them on CompuServe or even on a modem at 2400 or 9600 baud. A release notes booklet that's fairly thick for release notes booklet. It's like various explanations of various errors. The license deep in here. This one still says Digital Research Incorporated. It's interesting. This release seems to be kind of midway, so maybe a lot of the materials were already printed. And then the thick DOS user's guide with details of all the different commands and features in the operating system. There's not a lot to show for a version of DOS, really. You know, you'd load it and then you run your programs. Here it is booting up on a old 386 project that I have out in the garage. You can see it's pretty standard, except the different utilities that come with it.
and I have several of the features turned on this install. And once it loads up, we'll go ahead and show off the shell viewbacks, so you can see one of the features that we can show off of the operating system. This is a low speed 386SX, so it takes a minute, but especially with the older MFM hard drive inside the system. And you can see it's a very standard DOS shell. I chose the sunset scheme. It's not the default colors, but and basic file management. Since that didn't seem all too exciting for a video, decided to try something a little bit different. Why not install it on a Macintosh? So I downloaded a copy of Soft PC from Macintosh Garden and set to work getting it set up. It comes out of the box with DOS 5.0 already set up, which is fine, but I wanted to see if we could actually install DR-DOS over top of that and have it work. And you'll see in a moment that it actually does work quite well, at least as far as the emulator can go. It's not a very fast emulation even on a 120 megahertz power PC. We're going to speed through the installation and setup to get us to the initial boot of DR-DOS. The installation process was pretty standard, except for needing to use the drop-down command to eject floppies instead of just pressing the button like on a regular PC. The first boot is a little unusual since this prompts me for various drivers, which is a feature that you can have in DOS, I guess, to make sure that I really wanted to load some of these things and might have been from the previous installation. Other than that, it just boots up fine. Though you can see the slowness in how it loads VMAX compared to the 16 MHz 386. The 120 megahertz power PC seems to struggle a little bit to perform its emulation. Super slow, but it is working. I tried a few different games off of floppy briefly to kind of have something to show off of demonstrating its operation. First I tried F-15 Strike Eagle 2, which I've shown before on this channel, and it just hung when I tried to load it. I've had this happen before with DOSBox, so maybe that game just doesn't like emulation. I tried a couple more with zero success. For whatever reason they wouldn't load. Then Star Control did boot up and load fine, although very slowly and without any joystick or mouse support, so it's a little clunky to operate via the keyboard. And also the speed is just more like XT level or slow 286 level. In fact, I think my TL2 with its 8 MHz 286 does a better job, even though it's only pushing 16 colors. Another thing is that this particular emulator has no form of sound card emulation. It supposedly supports the PC speaker beep, but even that doesn't seem to work on this installation. And the last thing I tried as a demonstration was Planet X2, which of course runs perfectly since it was designed and tested on a XT class machine, a Tandy 1000. It's looks pretty good and plays alright just without the sound. And that's pretty much it for today. As always, thank you for watching.